had a small breakdown the other day, and I'll get into exactly why. But first, I just want to share with you because I'm sure you have the same feeling that I do, which is that we are here for a purpose. We are here for something greater. We are here to usher in a new revolution of consciousness into this world. We are here to bring about lasting change. We are here for love. We're here for peace. We're here for compassion. We are here to bring in more abundance to this world. We are here with a mission. We are here perhaps with a vision. You might not be clear on what that vision for your life is yet, but I'm sure you share this feeling to some extent, don't you? And so I've had this feeling for most of my life, where I felt that when I looked out into the world, that what I saw was so disappointing. It was so disappointing to me to grow up to realize that this hamster wheel of society just perpetually going around, that it is mindless, that it is numbing to our soul, that it is for no good, to no end, right? And it was crushing to see that. It was crushing to come to acknowledge and accept that this society doesn't have your best interest at heart. This society doesn't actually serve the purpose of well, in some ways it does, but it doesn't directly serve the purpose of ushering in this potential level of consciousness that our human vessels can inhabit, right? And so you can flip it around and then look at, well, perhaps it does, because obviously by me getting so triggered and fed up with this society that I could not stand it anymore, that led to some part of me realizing and awakening that, hey, there's more to life than what you've been told, right? And when we start to question that, and we get this feeling of there being a higher purpose for your existence here, that may bring about a level of identification. And with this identification comes expectation. And that is what I feel from time to time. I'm not perfect in that way. I'm still very much a human, having a human experience in this way. So from time to time, I just feel so much regret. I feel unworthy. I feel shame. I feel guilt. I feel like the time that I've spent, utilized so far, could have been spent otherwise, to achieve greater things, to fulfill more of my purpose, to get to some idea that I might have of what I imagine the future to look like. And so we may step into these emotions on behalf of this identity, mind you. And that can feel very heavy. Maybe you feel it too sometimes. That you just weigh it down. That you find yourself almost trapped in the society. And it's easy to blame the society, of course. Of course. But it is harder sometimes to look at the very culprit, which is our misplaced identity. And to look at the emotions and expectations that arise on behalf of that idea of who we think we are. Because who am I to say that life need be a certain way? Who are you to proclaim that your destiny need to look in this way that you have conceptualized somehow, right? How arrogant. And isn't it funny then that by way of this arrogance, of this projection onto life, which is really so as to say that we bring ourselves out of alignment with the fact of life, out of alignment with what is, and our guiding compass, the mechanism inside of here that is always aligned to the true north of truth. When we misalign ourselves in this way by fixating our attention on this identity and its expectations, of course we feel shit. Of course we feel that life isn't going the way we want it to. Right? Of course. And so we suffer. We suffer on behalf of this idea we have of ourselves. And I just want to invite you to consider that this yearning for more, this purpose, this mission, this vision, this legacy that you desire to leave behind, that you follow that. If it feels true for you, follow that. But don't follow it from a point of expecting yourself to show up in a particular way, of banging yourself across the head if you don't go 100% every single day, because that is not possible. That is not realistic. Even if you take days off, even if you take a week off, just continue following the calling of your spirit. Because you feel that calling, you can't shake it off. You can try to numb yourself with mindless work, with drugs, with activities, with friends. At the end of the day, you'll feel that there is something more knocking at your door. And so whatever that is, that thing that you can't shake off, that thing that keeps showing up, that wants to be brought to life through you, take it by the hand and let the excitement of that relationship, the relationship to that life which wants to be ushered through you, to take that lovingly, go down that path together and see where it takes you. See where it takes you without having any preconceived ideas, notions, concepts of what it may look like. You may have ideas, sure, but don't ever let those ideas get in the way of being right here. Because the future, if there is even such a thing, is made now. And so the best way for you to go about bringing to life that future that you imagine, that you desire above all else, that calls your, that makes your heart flutter, is not to wage war against this moment. It's not to wage war against those limited portions of yourself, of your mind, that haven't yet showed up. Instead, just show up with whatever limitations, boundaries, and ideas of self that you may have, and work through that. Don't work as that, work through that, work with that. Acknowledge it, feel it, be there for it. But know that you are more than simply the story that you have told yourself all throughout your life. And that even the stories about the story of yourself are also just part of this game. And it's all actually serving one purpose, which is to dissuade you, to weigh you down, to mislead you from this excitement that awaits. And not even awaits, it is here, ready, with open arms to take you in fully. Life is here, life is you. Take it by the hand. Let the divine breathe its life into your being. And don't be hard on yourself, please. I know how it feels. More than anybody, I know how it feels. And it's okay to break down and to feel those emotions. Because even though it's coming from a limited place, it is still ultimately coming from a place of understanding, from a place of love, from a place of really calling you to action. But our conceptions of ourselves tend to refract this understanding in such a way that we identify and feel not good enough. That we feel like we should be different, life should be different. But this is how life is, right here, right now. Meet this moment exactly as it is. There is peace. There is space to be with all these portions of your humanity, of your mind, and to give them space, to give them room to play out. We don't need to push them away anymore. They will dissolve when it's their time.